this table who has a heart to serve others. We ask you, Lord, to bless this day as we go forward. Bless this meal for the nourishment of my body and us to thy service. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. You can see it, Mr. Honeycutt.
Yes, thank you. Good morning, Rosarians.
Good morning.
Everyone this morning.
Great.
Well, sort of
Wonderful,
quiet.
wonderful, wonderful.
Good. We have a guest this morning, Cindy Bollinger, and we're glad to have you. You've been here before, and you came back, and we're glad to see you this morning. Thank you for being here.
And helped greatly at the Oktoberfest,
Yes.
by the way.
Yes.
I might add.
Yes, indeed. Good. So, congratulations. We also have another guest this morning. When we're coming in, did you check the perimeter, see if we're okay?
I did, and we had a little skirmish on the southeast corner, and had to turn the water on to keep them away.
Okay, all right, you got everything under control. Ron, glad to see you this morning. If you haven't given Jake's money over here, please do that. Jake is sort of concerned about his dog food. All right. Announcements. Anyone have the betterment of Rotary? You have an announcement you'd like to make? All right. We have at the church, Methodist Church, there's a bunch of pumpkins out there. I'm not sure, it's called the Pumpkin Patch. Joe, do you know anything about it?
I do. I do. Please stop by and pick up a pumpkin. Or two with her.
All right. I need $1 for promoting your pumpkins.
I'll pay it.
All right. All right. Good deal.
That's all I got.
All right.
Walk right in there.
Mr. Honeycutt, you want to remind everybody that the foundation banquet is this weekend.
Okay, great. And, all right, Fine Arts mentioned the foundation banquet this weekend, if anyone's planning to attend. Okay. Another item I need to bring up, I don't know hardly how to do it. I don't usually do this, but we had one member of our club on a fishing expedition along with another member of our club. And I need to have a report about fishing conditions that you'd like to share with Rotary.
I'll yield to my friend across from you.
Well, Thursday was an interesting day. It was turned out to start off good, but the seas were pretty rough actually out there. Swells were, I would say, probably 5 6 foot swells probably out there. And so we were bouncing around. I got a funny story because I was on the outside and Steve and Vidal and Robert were on the inside. And I was on the outside, and of course it was rocking and rolling, and I had to go inside, and you have to step up to go inside. And so I stepped up, and I opened the door to get inside. Just as I opened the door and stepped in, Steve was just to the right of me, and he was laying down. Well, the seas were such that it pushed me like that. I was laid right over on top of it. And he just, I was just sorry, Steve, sorry. But it was pretty rough. It was pretty rough. We caught some fish, but it still was pretty rough, so we didn't get to go out Friday.
Okay.
Where were you?
We were in Destin, Florida,
Yeah.
and the storm was coming from the west, and so it made fishing difficult.
Good. Well, I'm glad you had a good time.
We did.
Steve, do you have anything to say about the trip?
I concur.
You could go. I need $1 from you and Richard, just to tell them.
So we're not going to have a fish fry?
Well, actually, we are. It's just not going to be many people there.
All right, $1, and both, I'm glad you had a good time. That's great.
Yeah.
All right.
Got a bucket, you need to be covered. I got it.
This, tomorrow night, oh, one other thing. I don't have the Hickman record. I'm gonna put money into not having it, but picture in the paper. If you saw that, the district governor and our president was at the hospital dedicating the obelisk and the park itself. Great picture in the paper. Any of you see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Rick, all right, Rick. That's the only one. All right.
I saw
Now, I need $1 in the pot in here because service above self. Be out there. That's $1 in the pot. Okay.
I was proud of our little club being the lead on that, and Hickory Sunrise did itself really fine.
Certainly had a lot of recognition.
We had a number of Sunrise Rotarians who attended both events.
Okay. Well, it's certainly certainly recognizes our club and all the places. Oktoberfest and all the help did a great job on it too. Okay, anything else we go to Rotary? Anything that you have?
Can I just
Okay.
ask once again if anybody has any pictures, any photographs of either the dance or Oktoberfest, if they could send them to me, because I don't really have many to put on the Facebook page or the district newsletter to send it to them.
Okay.
Does anybody have any blank faces?
I'll double check with my wife, see if she took any.
Thanks.
One other item I don't know, I put a telephone number down, I can't connect whose it is. It's 781-5263. Anyone have that number, a cell number? 781-828-781-5263. Is that your number?
Yes?
Okay, I need $1, I'm recognizing your cell number.
We're stupid and you low.
He makes things up as he goes along, that's where.
That's a good.
I'm
I
sorry.
would have gave it to you free.
Well, I know, but everybody else needs it. All right, you're good with it. All right, good deal. All right. Yes, sir, Phil.
I would like to pay a $1 fine
Yes, sir.
for one of the most interesting ways that you figured out how to find people by announcing their phone number and who it is.
Creative fines.
Good deal.
Oh, wait, Steve's gonna pay money too.
No,
No?
give me some ones.
How many would you like?
6.
Well, the special today, 4. 4 for 5.
6. 5.
Thought you might take the special.
All right, good deal. All right, Mr. President, it's all yours.
Thank you,
We have
sir.
something else to come up.
Al, do we know what it is? Excuse me, Bob and I talked about Regina Waller's surgery. We're not sure when that ended. Do you know anything about that? Okay.
I went to check on her and got an email back after I was at the bank. It just simply said, will not return until like the second week of November, so.
Well, keep her and anybody else in our Rotary family in your thoughts and prayers, please. Speaking of Rotary family, one of our own has the program today, and I have to give you a little bit of insight. Lynn and I have been going to breakfast occasionally and swapping lies and stories and stuff, and it's been a lot of fun. And I found that the man is an interesting person, to say the least. If you look at the write-up on the front page, we mentioned the fact that his wife Chris was a charter member and an excellent Rotarian, and we're just fortunate to continue to have Seimer as part of our Rotary Club. So Lynn, it's yours.
Oh boy, okay. Well, I'll have to start off with this. Sorry guys, it's something that I was given when I was in college. It's a speech, so don't get too excited. Ladies and gentlemen, I come before you to stand behind you, to tell you something I know nothing about. Next Thursday, which is Good Friday, there will be a mother's meeting for fathers only. Admission is free, pay at the door, pull up a chair, and sit on the floor. Thank you for your unkind attention. I actually gave that speech in college and got an A on it because everybody laughed at me. I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri. I went to the college at a liberal arts college, and I graduated in '73 with a degree in education. I'm certified K through 12, or I was, K through 12 in history, health, and physical ed. And after I graduated, my first job offer to become a teacher was $5,000 a year. After a little calculation, I figured it would take me about 15 years to pay my college tuition that I had things on, so I changed, looked around, and I came to work for Roy Hill Furniture. And my first territory was Illinois. I was an upholstery specialist. I had about 15 counties in central Illinois. After about 5 years, they transferred me to Iowa, where I picked up another division of upholstery and occasional, which is where I met Chris. And after 5 years there, I was transferred to Nebraska. And there I handled all divisions for Broyhill. And I was there for about 5 years, and then they asked me to come into management, so I moved to Hickory in 1987. And the first job, the president grabbed me after I came in, and he says, okay, here's your first major job. I don't even know what I'm doing yet, I'm just a sales manager, I gotta learn. This first thing you gotta do is you gotta hire somebody to take your place in Nebraska. And I said, okay, and he said, here's a list of people that were with Broyhill that were salesmen, and he wanted me to pick one to transfer up there. And I looked at him and I said, I'm sorry, but that's not a good idea. He said, what do you mean? I said, I've been in Illinois, Iowa, Nebraska for over 15 years, and I've had over 15 different partners in that time. They were all from the South, okay? And I said, almost every one of them left after we had our first winter up there. Nobody wanted to live up there. So he said, well, he says, I don't know about that. And I said, well, look at it like this. I can teach somebody how to sell furniture. I can't teach anybody how to live in the Midwest. So he agreed with me, and that was it. So I came into management, and I was there, and I moved to another one. I was paid as a vice president of a marketing division, and then we got a new president, and I got a call from him, and he came down, and he said, Lynn, I got a new job for you. I said, oh, he's a new guy. I wonder what this one is. He says, we are going to start doing international sales. I said, okay, and he says, you are now the vice president of international sales. I said, oh. He says, what do you think? I said, well, exactly what area is my responsibility? He said, you have the whole world except for the 50 states. And I guess I had a funny look on my face, and he said, well, what do you think of that? I said, well, my first territory with Broyhill was Illinois with like 16 counties, so I guess it's gotten just a little bit bigger over the years. So now I had the whole world. So I did that for whatever. So the one more key story I'll let you know. One of his focuses was there's furniture markets all over the world. Okay, we have quite a few here, as you know, in the States. And he said, I want you to focus on how many and where we need to show our product. So it took me about a week or two. And then he called me and he says, well, what'd you find out about the furniture markets? He says, I want you to go to all of the international furniture markets. And I said, well, boss, I said, I don't know if you really want to pay for that. And he says, what do you mean? I said, there's 244 of them a year in all the countries, because you got to figure every country's got 2 or 3. He says, okay, well, don't do that. So we ended up doing Germany, England, Canada, Mexico, Singapore, and Japan are the ones that we did. So that's how I ended up down here.
What was it like to work for Mr. Broyhill?
Mr. Broyhill was a wonderful gentleman, but then when he sold the company, that's when things started to change. And it was like 3 years after they made me international, which was rather curious. That's when all the U.S. manufacturers were taking all their products overseas for manufacturing. So for us to try to sell American products other than in the U.S. was like taking water to the ocean. I mean, we didn't have a chance. Everybody was making furniture. So after they replaced me for 6 months, and then they just wiped out the division, so there was no longer any international sales. It just one of those things, whatever.
Well, those furniture markets, the one in Atlanta, world's largest, and I tell you, you go through there, unbelievable what happens. Even a piece of wood, it goes through shredders or whatever it might be. Am's going, working, robots. First laser that I saw was cutting the ribbon at the furniture market in Atlanta. Big place.
Well, the U.S. had Chicago, Atlanta, New York, High Point, Tupelo, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Francisco, and royal with every one of them.
How many are still in operation?
Well, I'm not as much involved. It's still, Tupelo's still there, Dallas is still there, Vegas and San Francisco and High Point, and I believe Atlanta's still, Atlanta's still going on.
It must have been fun shipping that furniture, big heavy furniture around the world for these trade shows.
That was the hardest learning curve here. We're shipping furniture to Dallas when it's done, bring it back, okay? Well, you take a container load or two and ship it to Germany for a show. It costs a fortune to bring it back. So I had the responsibility of selling it over there, okay? And going through the difference in the currency and all that stuff, because it would cost like $20,000 to ship a container to Germany, and then have to pay somebody to pack it back up and ship another $20,000 to ship it back. So that was my job. I just had to figure out how to get rid of it. So yeah, it was interesting. International markets are totally different than what we do in the U.S. Totally different. Most of the places, what's cute is when the shows are over, and I mentioned it to somebody one time who was in Singapore and Japan, when the show's over, they open it up and all the vendors get to sell their products to customers, which I thought was a pretty good way, you know, of getting rid of it. The worst part was when I had to do all the sales, they always wanted to pay me in their currency. Sold it in Mexico City, and the guy was nice enough that he said, I'll get you US dollars, no problem. I said, okay, fine. Didn't think anything more about it. Came in the day that we were leaving, and it was $8,000 is what I had charged him for this. So he came up and he says, okay, I got your money. So I'm sitting there and I said, okay, fine. I'm looking for the check. He reaches in his briefcase, he gives me $8,000 in cash. Ooh, you want to talk about being paranoid? Getting on the plane, coming back, my luck, if I'd have been stopped coming through.
Oh, well, that's
Like that. Oh, yeah, what do you do with $8,000 in cash in your briefcase? You know?
When you were in Illinois, did you have Rantoul as an area where you went?
No, sir.
Okay. That's near Champaign.
Well, wait a minute. Yes, I did go to Rantoul. I'm sorry, because I lived in Urbana. Yeah, I had Rantoul and Peoria, Springfield. That's it. I didn't go up north in the northern part or the real southern part.
I spent a miserable winter there once in the Air Force, and talk about your Midwestern winter.
Well, I don't know why you found Nebraska kind of cold.
Yeah.
The last winter I was there, it was only 60 inches of snow. And when the temperature got to around zero, we were taking our Arctic parkas off out in the open.
Right. Well, that was the one nice thing about being in Nebraska, though, because it snowed a lot, so I didn't have to go anywhere. I got to stay home. What are you going to do when there's 14 inches of snow on the interstate?
Well, I saw on TV last night, Missoula got 30 inches of snow just this week. Yeah, I think day before yesterday, 30 inches in October.
Denver, Colorado was supposed to have a high of 19 yesterday.
And 0 for low.
And 2 days before that was mid-20s was for the highs.
All right, guys, and ladies, I have a trivia question for you. All everybody here is an American, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
sort of.
Almost,
Somebody said no.
less one.
All right, here's the question. There are 4 U.S. states.
Damn, how old are you?
I thought I was doing a joke. There are 4 U.S. states that have the same first letter of the state is the same first letter of its capital. Okay? What 4 states are those? Come on, we all know the U.S. states. Come on.
Hawaii.
Got it. That's usually the one that nobody ever gets.
Yeah.
I
New
lose.
Jersey.
New Jersey?
Nope.
Trenton doesn't make it in.
Oh, okay.
That's the worst part, now I gotta make sure I know all of them.
Delaware.
Dover,
Dover,
excellent.
That's one nobody ever gets. unless you're
Colorado.
from the east. Nope.
Denver.
Oh, I thought it was Colorado Springs.
I'm really surprised so far, nobody's come up with the ones that everybody comes up with that are always wrong.
Indiana.
Everybody always comes up with
Yeah.
New York, yep, he got Indiana, Indianapolis. Everybody always comes up with, they figure New York City is the capital.
Albany.
It's Albany. The other one, they always figure Minneapolis is Minnesota, and it's not, it's St. Paul.
Yeah.
And the other one, since nobody knows that many cities there, they always figure it's Anchorage, Alaska, and it's not. It's Juneau. Right. All right, you got one left. You got Hawaii, you got Delaware, and you got Indianapolis. One more. I'll give you a hint. Since everybody got all the eastern ones, it's in the Midwest.
It's not Minnesota, is it? That's
No.
St. Paul.
St. Paul.
St. Paul.
Iowa.
Des Moines.
Not Iowa City,
All right, I'll give you one more hint, since it's an old group. The capital not only has the same first letter, it also has the same name as the state.
Kansas City.
Nope, Topeka.
Topeka doesn't start like that.
Topeka, Kansas.
Oklahoma?
Yeah, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
There you go. Very good.
Very good.
Lynn,
Very good.
Sir,
give us an update on your grandson as far as his college search.
you may not be aware, most of the guys know, 3 weeks ago, he separated his shoulder. He's done for the year. He's gonna have surgery.
Oh, man, didn't know that.
So, not sure where he's at. He's gone to quite a few different colleges, but now it's kind of not sure what's gonna happen. You know, he's gonna have surgery the week of Thanksgiving, it sounds like. All right, one more quick one, and then I'll let you go. Then you guys can make it.
Another one? Go.
Just an easy one. We all talk about daylight savings times. There's 2 states in the U.S. that do not have daylight savings time.
Arizona.
Arizona.
He's always got the, what's the other one?
Arizona.
Son of a gun, they got him. I would have never got
Did
it.
Florida not pass it as well?
Right now, because I actually Googled it a couple of 3 weeks ago, and right as of today, it's just
I know
Arizona
they were voting on it or something.
and Hawaii.
It leads to an interesting problem in Indiana. They have a rule that the official county time will be the time that's on the courthouse clock.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, exactly.
Ah.
And so all those cities along the edge near Cincinnati set the clock to daylight savings time central, but they all work on Cincinnati time.
I've got a trivia question for you and the group.
Oh, no.
How many American presidents are not buried in the United States?
Ooh.
Well, it's about
5.
5 gold.
Yeah, really? That's interesting.
Jimmy Carter, George Bush. Donald Trump.
That's a good one.
That was pretty, that was pretty good. All right.
Then we have a gift for you.
Thanks.
As everybody knows, the coasters made by Wayne are just an absolute treasure for all of us. And
Great.
this is for you, courtesy of Wayne, and thank you very much for your program. It's interesting.
If you really like trivia, Monday starts the Tournament of Champions on Jeopardy. You talk about some guys with some recalls. Golly,
Amen.
that whole tower guy was phenomenal.
One more thing, Chris wanted to make sure that I told everybody hello.
Oh, very good.
And please give her our regards too. I have only just a couple of things. If anybody is interested in being a census taker and making money doing so, I have information about that. I was at our veterans meeting last Friday, and a woman came up and wanted to know if we knew any veterans might want to do this kind of stuff. So she gave me some paperwork if you're interested in anything like that. Again, my thanks to everyone who was involved, not only with Oktoberfest and with the dance, but also with the polio events that we had. Had good turnout from our folks who were at both things. It went well. And the obelisk itself, the Tower of Miracles, has not been moved yet. The architect, or not, the guy from the city was asked by the mayor, when will that be? He said about 3 months, I think he said, Phil?
2 to 3.
About 3 months, and that's fine. But if you, the artist rendering of it is gonna look nice. Really nice with what they've got going there, so. My thanks to all of you. Any other announcements, Phil?
I was at the soup kitchen Monday, and I noticed on the door of the soup kitchen, there was an announcement about voter registration. Probably going to require photo ID for the 2020 election, and this is something you can do to get. I still think it would be a really great service project for our club if we could figure out how to encourage people and to get registered and help. We've got a good chunk of our population that has incomplete paperwork probably in the past, or just plain doesn't know how to get it done. And if we could get geared up to...
Keep thinking along that line, see how, any thoughts you might have. Also along that line, if anybody is interested in doing a program, or getting somebody to do a program on the new voter ID, how to get that, I think that would make a good program. Most people, it's easy, but a lot of people don't know, but Cinda?
The Board of Elections, Amanda Duncan.
Yeah.
Amanda Duncan's great.
Is at, and they just did one, and they had someone come in from the State Board of Elections.
Okay.
And they tried to hit every county in North Carolina to talk about it. And I know that it's a very quick, it takes about 30 minutes, so that would be a good program.
Okay, thanks, yeah, good. And I can follow up, I can contact Amanda about that.
They just tried to pass the same kind of thing in the UK, which shows that these influences go, it was thrown out because there's no voter fraud problem there either, so they threw it out. But it's interesting how these ideas are spreading throughout the world.
Anything else?
Either. Well, there isn't one.
And by the way, before you say something, did you look at the program, Mr. Hunt? Your name is on it now in today's agenda. I want you to be sure that you see you are on the agenda always.
Or influence.
Okay, I just want to make sure you're getting credit for this now.
Okay.
You had a question,
I got a couple things.
Okay, comment.
One is, in your new Rotarian, there are 5 articles on survivors of polio. Very interesting reading. And also, Dr. Toy came by the office and got her photograph taken. I'm going to get the background, the backdrop, and take the additional pictures, but I need to know who have not yet had their pictures taken. And also, I need to make sure that everybody gets a copy of the data sheet, so we can make sure all the data is consistent and the same. So I'll make sure those happen, but I'll be talking to you about when you can just come by the office and we'll snap the pictures and get this directory in motion.
Thank you, Steve. Next week, Rhino has the program. The week after that is our club assembly. And I said last week, we're going to use the upcoming club assembly to really dissect the dance and our participation in Oktoberfest to see where we go forward. And for those of you who don't know, I've already secured Moretz Mill for October 24th next year, real close to Halloween. Michael twist them arm, made sure I can get a date later in October. And it's on a Saturday, not a Friday. And we have the same band lined up. Now, he also knows, the band leader knows that if the club decides not to do a dance, we can cancel it, no penalty or anything like that. But I wanted to secure it to make sure we didn't lose it. All right, anything else for the good of the congregation?
The things we think, say, or do.
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Have a good week.